Welcome back to Be Made Whole TV. Just wanted to say Happy New Year. Still can't believe that it's 2018 already. Like officially today is January 1st, 2018. And I'm like, how did we get here? But grateful to be here, grateful for another day, another opportunity, another journey, another year, and looking forward to everything that God has in store for all of us this year. Back in 2014, I started this, this new adventure. Instead of focusing on making a list of New Year's resolution, I wanted to do a word of the year. If I focus on one word, on one concept, on one theme for the year, everything that I do essentially can fall under that. And so I started with the year 2014. My word was intentional. And that year, I focused on just being intentional about everything that I did. Specifically, that's the year that I actually published 2 books. My first book being kind of like my trial book. It was an ebook called Baby Lessons from A to C, Life Lessons for My Daughter. And there I shared about just different life lessons that I learned from taking care of my then 2-year-old, almost 2-year-old, because she wasn't 2 when I wrote the book yet. She was 1.5 years and change. And I published it, I launched it, and this was kind of like my step out of comfort and take a leap of faith in just doing something different, something that I had not done before by myself. I had co-authored a book before, which was We Must, We Shall, Worship and Evangelism workbook. And that was something that was great. I love doing it. It still is a resource that is useful, and I have used in a lot of ministries. But with Baby Lessons from A to Z, this was a newfound way of being able to express certain things. So that was that. And then later on that year, I published My Heart. I published a book that was very challenging for me because I had never talked about it publicly. Essentially, I had never really shared my testimony the way that I did in this book, much less, things that were just so private and near and dear to my heart. And so I published this book, Be Made Whole. And I talk about, defying the deadliest cancer, my journey in terms of being healed from leukemia, which I've shared in this channel as well. But this was the first time that I had actually publicly put it out there. And that's where the 5 pillars stems from this book that I wrote. Were the 5 areas that I felt most challenged by. Then 2015, I sought after the word balance, finding balance in everything that I do. Then 2016 was consistency, learning how to be consistent in everything that I did, finding my rhythm. 2017, the year that just passed, was simplicity, keeping things simple, and not being so complicated about it. And here's the thing, like for me, I'm a creative, I'm a graphic designer. I love design, I love drawing, I love, production, I love, colors and all kinds of stuff, At one point I wanted to be a fashion designer, then I wanted to be a television producer, and I learned all these things. I went to school specifically for television production, and there's just so many different things, that as a creative you pick up, you do, and I realized I was cracking up thinking about my, just kind of like how my brain works, like I see something, I'm like, oh, like I feel like almost like Dory from Finding Nemo and Finding Dory, because like I can easily get distracted by a new thing, like, oh my gosh, I can learn this, or I can do this, oh my gosh, discover something. And as a creative, when you do a lot of things and you can do a lot of things well, you can get lost in what it is that you're really called to and what is your purpose and what you need to be focusing on, and learning how to balance all of that. And so last year I was trying to find my simple, how to keep relationships simple, how to keep, conversations simple, and not simple in the sense of like surface level, never go deep into, certain things, but more so keeping things simple as it relates to me, like how I, in my head, I would, like somebody can say one thing and then I'm like, oh my gosh, so they probably mean this, another, and then I go to the deep end and it's like, that's not even what they were trying to say, so keep it simple. Oh my gosh, I feel this. Okay, so you know what? Let me communicate that. Let me just keep it simple. Hey, listen, this is what I feel. I don't understand that, etc., etc. And learning what that means in the different areas of my life. So faith, family, fostering change, fitness and finances, literally learning how to apply all of that, simplicity in those areas of my life. And then for this year, I was really praying about it and challenged, because I wasn't sure what I wanted to focus on, what the word of the year was going to be. And literally I took the month of December to think about it, pray about it. And in conversation with my spiritual mom, Pastor Sharon Dean, she and I were just having a conversation about life and things that needed to get done in projects and all this stuff, and disappointments and just concerns and a lot of things that are just real life things that happen to us. And for me, she was just really challenging the way that I think, the way that I do things, the reasons why I do things, I was just, I listened to her and I was just like, man, I had just had a conversation with someone else talking about, the importance of being reliable and the importance of, keeping your word and all of these things. And here I was being challenged to think through the same thing. And it's always easier to see the flaws and issues of others, but then when it comes to ourselves, it's a little different. So for me, I was just like, wow, I really was challenged by that conversation to be, the key word, I was thinking of, I kind of want to be reliable, and I want to make sure that I do things in a timely fashion. And when I say that I'm going to get something done, I want to make sure that I get it done, and like I said, because of the way my brain works and as a creative, like I often really do believe that my creativity or where my mind goes operates outside of time and like practicality. So what do I mean by that? I'll agree to be like, oh my gosh, if somebody says, Anna, I need this project done. I'm like, yes, oh, absolutely, we can get it done. And then somebody else says, Anna, da 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 da. And then I'm like, yes, oh my gosh, yes, that's totally easy. I could totally get that done. And then somebody else comes in and say, hey, listen, can you do this for me real quick? And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, that, because I have a heart and a desire to help, and I also enjoy doing those things. So I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. And then it's like, wait, Anna, pause. You're saying yes to all of these things, but you forget that you are a mom, okay? A family member, you are a church member, you are a community member. Like, you have so many different things that you are a part of. So here I am years later doing like everything, and then at the end disappointing people because I want to do and be everything to everybody. It risks my ability to be reliable. My integrity is in danger, because if I say that I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z, but then I don't like own up to that, or I don't live up to what my word, what I just said, my word is my bond, then now when the next time that I say it, people are not going to believe it. They're going to be like, oh, well, yeah, she's probably never going to get to it. And that's something that I don't like feeling that about other people. So, one of the things that I'm challenging myself this year is to be a woman of integrity, to be the same person everywhere that I go, and that doesn't mean that like I'm just going to open up and just divulge all of my business, to everybody because I want to be that transparent to everything. No, there's wisdom in, measuring your words and what you're doing, what you say, specifically in the public eye. But I want to be able to be reliable. Like when I say I'm going to get something done, that it's going to get done. And that, I don't have a commitment issue. I have an overcommitment issue. Like I want to commit to everything because I want to help everybody, and it's not even for the sake of like, I want to be liked, like if you don't like me, you don't like me. Like, I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're just gonna leave that at that, but I do know that there's a part of me that like there is a joy that happens from within when I know that I'm helping someone, helping somebody's dream come true, or helping somebody accomplish something that they set out to do. That I genuinely love being able to help people do that, because I know that like I am appreciative when somebody is helpful to me, when somebody offers, to assist me in something. Like I want to give by grace what I received by grace. But I can get easily lost in a lot of that stuff, because at the end of the day, I do have to work. I do need to pay bills. I need to make sure that my daughter's taken care of. I need to make sure that I'm present for my family, because tomorrow's promised to nobody. You know, I want to make sure that I'm taking care of this temple. I want to make sure that I'm present in the community, and that people, you know, feel that, like, that they matter, and not that I'm just walking by them like they're invisible. You know, I want to make sure that finances are taken care of, not because I want to buy the next big house or the next gadget that comes in the market. I could care less about stuff like that, you know, but I do want to make sure that I can fund and help and be assistance to more people, you know, because I'm not worried or drowning in debt, you know, and so that all of that stuff matters to me, but all in wisdom, all with integrity, all making sure that, you know, I'm not all over the place, with that goal in mind, you know, of focusing for the year of 2018 on, you know, being integral, you know, having integrity in everything that I do, being the same person, you know, keeping my word, not overcommitting, and being okay with saying I can't do it, you know, and learning how to be more resourceful. If I can't do it, let me refer you to somebody that might be able to help you with that, you know, or let me connect you to an organization that can assist you with that. You know, I don't have to do everything. I don't have to be everywhere. It's not often practical. You know, I have mentors that are distant mentors. They have no idea that they're my mentor, you know, like Priscilla Shire, Cheryl Brady's, Joyce Meyer, you know, like women of faith that you know, Christine Kane, oh my goodness, you know, like so many different women that I glean from, you know, from the things that they produce, the books that they write, the videos that they post, all of these things, and they're my distant mentors. And then I have a spiritual mother that I can actually speak to, you know, Pastor Sharon, and you know, I have the beautiful relationship of being able to talk to my own mother, you know, about certain things. So learning how to find those resources and not make like forced relationships, you know what I mean? And with that in mind, since that's applicable to me, I have to recognize that I don't have to feel this pressure to be everything to everybody just because I want to help. You know, it's okay to redirect and reroute people to resources that can actually give them the attention that they need, that I may not be able to, you know, and they still get, you know, they still feel love, they still feel like they matter. You know, and so, like I said, learning from a lot of mistakes that I've made, you know, a lot of situations that I got myself into with the heart and the desire to want to be helpful, you know, and so this year I'm like, you know, I want to be a woman of integrity. You know, I make mistakes, I still got issues, I'm still human, I still probably won't do everything exactly as I planned or desire to, but at least I want to make sure that I am reliable and that I'm not always rushing everywhere because I have 10 billion things to do in one day. You know, it's just insanity. Like, no, stop, slow down, calm down. It's not that serious, you know. So I want to challenge everybody to see where they are and what's one thing that you want to focus on this year. Yes, there's a lot of different goals that you may have, but what is the umbrella? What is the focus? What is the theme for you this year? I want to challenge you to pray about it. You know, ask yourself what you want it to be, or what the Lord is leading you to, and then share it if you want. So we'd love to hear from you all. And until next time, God bless you and Happy New Year.